Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back, Pigskin Addicts, back again with another video. Man, it feels so good to be back. Let me just address that first. The little hiatus I was on. Thank you guys for your concern. I seen all of the comments on my community post. Really appreciate it. I was good though. My health is good. Health of my family is good. I had to step away from YouTube for a little bit. I had a pretty large scale project that I was working on, some software development type of stuff. So it required my full attention, and I couldn't do that and do YouTube, edit the videos, and all of that type of stuff. I couldn't do all of that at the same time, so I had to step away for a little bit. And I knew it was just going to be a little break, and I'm back now. So feels really good to be back. I know I missed out on a lot. There's been, a lot of news happening, right? Obviously the draft, a whole bunch of undrafted free agents, some coaching stuff. There's a lot of topics that I'm going to cover, so I'm going to do my best to try and rectify my hiatus. I'm going to do the best that I can to try to catch up on all these topics. There's a lot to talk about. And we are, in June now. So, we're going to be headed towards training camp here pretty soon. So within that time frame, right from now until, training camp starts, I'm going to try to do my best to cover as many topics as I can. And now that I'm back here, semi full time, I guess you can say, I'm confident that I can cover, pretty much everything. So without further ado, I wanted to jump right into, I think, the biggest story of the offseason, right? So far, it has been the draft and who the Chargers drafted, right? So you guys see the thumbnail of this video, right? I'm going to be going over the Chargers first round pick 2023, Mr. Quentin Johnston out of TCU. So he is 6'3", 208 pounds, ran a 4.4. He's a really good athlete, very good athlete, very big, right? He's prototypical of what the Chargers want to do as far as the wide receiver position is concerned. He fits the mold, right? He fits the criteria. He is a bigger guy. He has a bigger body. That's what the Chargers like. That's what they have always liked, right? And this predates Tom Telesco as well, too, right? Go back to the Malcolm Floyd, Vincent Jackson days. The Chargers just like big wide receivers, right? There are some advantages to that, and there's also some disadvantages as well too. So, I'm kind of in the middle with that, but nonetheless, he does fit the prototype of what the Chargers like in a wide receiver. I'm gonna, just jump straight into the points here, right? And I tweeted about this a little bit on draft night. I found some time to kind of tweet some thoughts out about it. His tape, right? When he gets drafted and they show, just little snippets of some of his game tape. It looks very good, right? It looks very impressive. And, it looks like this guy can easily translate to the NFL. But here's the problem with this pick, right? Here's the problem with this pick. Quentin Johnston played in the Big 12. The Big 12 is not known for defense at all, right? It is the opposite of that, right? And I am an avid college football watcher. I watched TCU a lot this year. Max Duggan, Quentin Johnston. I watched them a lot. They were in shootouts practically every game. There really was no defense that, really could stop TCU's offense. And TCU was a good offense. They're not the best of all time, but they were a good offense. But the Big 12, right? The conference is just made up of offensive teams, right? So when you're looking at a guy translating to the NFL, right, nothing that he's seen in college is going to be anything that he sees in the NFL. And that's just, it is what it is, right? It's a fact. So he's going to have to adjust to that. That's number one. Number two, right? Again, I watched Quentin Johnston. I watched TCU a lot this year. His tape, the way that he played, the way that their offense played, it kind of reminded me a little bit of a guy who is actually in the league right now. I seen a lot of comparisons on draft night. I seen one, Alshon Jeffrey. I think that's a decent comparison, even though I think he is faster than Alshon Jeffrey, Quentin Johnston is. My comparison right now, right until I get proven wrong, is Sammy Watkins. I think Quentin Johnston he fits that Sammy Watkins type of mold. Anybody remember Sammy Watkins? If you don't remember Sammy Watkins at Clemson, I implore you, go watch his highlights. Sammy Watkins got off every single game. He was running wide open. He had a bunch of long touchdowns, right? 50-plus yard touchdowns at Clemson. He was just really, really lighting it up. And he did it all 3 years that he was there, right? From his freshman year all the way to his junior year. He got drafted fourth. I believe it was the 2014 draft, if I'm not mistaken. And Sammy Watkins has been a very good NFL player his entire career, pretty much. But he has not lived up to the billing of where he was drafted at. And to me, right, obviously Quentin Johnston wasn't drafted fourth. He wasn't, in the top 5, top 10. But I'm looking at some of the reactions to the draft pick. And I'm looking at some of, the quote unquote analysts and the experts talking about how great Quentin Johnston can be. He can be great. I agree with that. But it's not just a plug and play thing. What he's seen in the Big 12 is not going to be anything he's seen in the NFL. He has to get used to this NFL game. He's not going to be running wide open. And there are question marks when it comes to him. Can he catch the ball when he's covered, right? When he's completely blanketed and there's press coverage on him and it's physical, can he make those catches, right? Or can he even get off of coverage, right, to present, at least an open enough target for Justin Herbert to take a chance to throw it there? We have not seen him do it. He didn't do it in college at all. And again, I'm an avid college football watcher. He was just running down the sidelines pretty much wide open, right? And that's just not going to be available in the NFL. So there are some question marks here, and I don't think I'm hating. I don't think that I am, being Debbie Downer. I think that there are legitimate question marks about this guy, but I also like everything that he brings to the table physically. He's a very big athlete. You see some of the clips that the Chargers have posted. He's very good, right? He has a lot of body control for being that big, and I like his athleticism. I really, really do. I just think he's a little bit raw as far as a wide receiver goes in today's NFL. Now, overall, I have lower expectations of Quentin Johnston just because the Chargers kind of have, their top 3 guys as far as the wide receiver position is concerned, right? Now, if those guys stay healthy, I don't expect Quentin Johnston to have a huge impact if those guys stay healthy. If Keenan, Mike, Josh Palmer, if all those guys stay healthy, those guys are going to get a lot more opportunities to make plays than he is. So overall, in 2023, my expectations are low of him. I do expect him, to come out and show what he can do, right? In 4-5 receiver packages, right? I expect him to come out and, have impacts as far as that is concerned. But just on, every down basis, right? Or even a every series basis, I really don't know where he fits in. I don't see him fitting in at this point right now, just based on how raw he is, when you're looking at him against Josh Palmer, right, to be the third wide receiver. Josh Palmer has 2 years of NFL experience, and Josh Palmer stepped up last year, when the Chargers pretty much had nobody, right? You had Michael Bandy and a couple of other guys out there. Josh Palmer really stepped up, right? That is something that is difficult to do. Josh Palmer doesn't get enough credit for that. Is Quentin Johnston able to do that? Is he able, to run routes good enough to do that, right? Is he able, to handle the physical press coverage that the NFL quarterbacks, NFL defenses are going to bring, right? We don't know. Again, these are question marks. This is why my expectations are, very tempered when it comes to Quentin Johnston. But I do have faith. I have a lot of faith in Kellen Moore, right? Now, just when you go down the list and you look at the guys who have gotten better under Kellen Moore, right? You're looking at Amari Cooper. You're looking at C.D. Lamb, right? You're looking at a Michael Gallup, right? You're looking at a Cedric Wilson. All those guys posted career numbers with Kellen Moore calling plays for their team, right? For their offense. So when you're looking at the wide receiver position, you're looking at Quentin Johnston, right? And you're saying if he does the work, if he puts in the work that he needs to put in individually, right, he can really, really, really be a big producer in this offense. Again, my expectations are a little bit lower for year 1. Year 2 and beyond, I expect him to be a pretty big producer. And hopefully Kellen Moore sticks around too. I think that's another big, thing that the Chargers really, really need to start planning, towards now, right? Are we going to keep Kellen Moore around? Is he going to be, available to keep around, right? If he's not our head coach, probably not. But, they'll cross that bridge when they get there. But I think Quentin Johnston has the right stuff. Overall, I like this draft pick. I really, really do. But I do think that it is important to come on here, right, and talk about the questions, right? Because we can celebrate everything the Chargers do, right? But when we look at 2022, I believe I gave the Chargers like an A- for their draft class in 2022. Obviously, right, that was that was completely far-fetched. And I've learned my lesson, right? I've learned my lesson. So coming into this year, right, my expectations are a little bit tempered, and I just want to see the guy get better, right? If he is better in week 18 than he is in week 1, 2, 3, 4, right, then I think that constitutes a good rookie season, right? I don't really care about fantasy stats. I don't care if he gets offensive rookie of the year. All of that stuff doesn't matter, right? Is the guy getting better, right? Is his trend upwards, right? That's what you want to see. And, if he's able to do that, it's going to be a good rookie year. And like I said, I think he does his damage year 2 and on, right? I'm not expecting a whole lot year 1. And I'm just being fair, right? I think I was a little bit unfair last year. I expected some guys to come out and do a lot more than what they were ready for, right? And, we've seen that this team didn't have the depth that we thought it did in 2022, right? So I'm not going to make that same mistake 2023. I think the Chargers are in a pretty decent place right now. But again, my expectations are tempered, and I'm not going to put a lot on Quentin Johnston's plate. I'm just going to let him, develop, at his own pace. And again, I'm looking for big things from him down the line. But as of right now, let's just temper the expectations just a little bit, and let's stop treating him like he's like Randy Moss or somebody like that, because at this point he's just not, right? So let's give him some time to develop, and we'll be able to, give an honest opinion on this draft pick as the season wears on, and as you see him getting better, and as you see him gaining more confidence, right? Then you can give an honest opinion. But as of right now, I'm just gonna say I like it. I don't have a grade. I think it's unfair to give him a grade at this point right now. So, hey, we're just going to let the cards fall where they may, right? But that is all I got for this video, guys. So glad to be back. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I really, really appreciate it. I seen all the comments when I was gone. I really, really appreciate you guys. Couldn't thank you enough. And, yeah, I'm back now. So, anything else you guys want me to cover? I have a list of things that I'm going to go over, but if there's anything else you want me to cover, just drop a comment in the comments and let me know, and I'll try to add it to my list. So that is all I got for this one, guys. Good to be back. Thank you so much for the support, and until next time.